Okay, well, shall we start?
Yep.
Have we already started?
Are you recording?
Yeah.
Oh, wig. It's so weird not being there in person because I don't know when you've started. You could be collecting
Yeah.
evidence for a civil suit against me for, like, bullying.
That's actually exactly what I'm doing.
That's how the law works, right?
Definitely that feels, based on the TV that I've seen, that's accurate.
Exactly. There's where the teachers at school shouldn't be saying, do the 5, ask them to stop, and if they don't stop, tell a teacher, and then if they don't, talk to the hand, you know? They should just say, sue them.
That seems like the best way to end all arguments.
Exactly. What is the 4? I think it's like 4. It's like,
I honestly
ask
have
them
no
to
idea what you're
stop.
talking about.
When you're being bullied at school in primary school, they used to say like
Follow these 5 steps.
Yeah, like 1, tell them to stop. If they don't stop, tell them to stop again. And then if they don't stop, tell the teacher. And then if they still don't stop, tell the teacher again.
No, there was definitely no 5 sure steps to success at my schools.
I just remembered what the actual one is. No hat, no play, no fun today.
That is a completely separate thing.
Did you have no hat, no play, no fun today?
Yes, we did have that. I think every school in Australia has that one.
Okay, well, title of ep, no hat, no play, no fun today. Anyway, hi, Maddie.
Hi, Nick.
What a way to
How's it
start.
Going?
Good.
Agree.
How are you?
We were really straight into the discourse there. Yeah, I'm good. I have so many things to talk about today.
Oh my god. Oh my god, juicy. I love some juicy. Speaking of juicy, did you see that Harry Styles just finally officially confirmed what the song Watermelon Sugar's about? Like literally like a few hours ago.
No. Is it about eating pussy? Because we've been new.
It's about the female orgasm.
What did he say? What words did he want to do exactly?
The female orgasm.
Hilarious.
He said it's about the sweetness of fruit, and then he said, well, okay, well, just to say it finally, that it's about the female orgasm.
Iconic.
Which I'm not sure how that works. Like, how do you taste an orgasm? You can taste the like, females don't ejaculate. Is he talking about the squirty?
No, they do. It's just not. They do. It's just not the same. But like there's Mum, close your ears. Don't listen to us. No, okay,
don't do it then.
Okay, fine. But yes, they do in their own. It's like obviously it's not exactly the same, but
okay. Well, Harry just loves to lap that shit up.
That was literally like a line in a fic.
Yeah.
Yes.
If I go to your account, I'm surely gonna find those exact words on a fanfic of you that you wrote.
Specifically a Harry Styles fic, obviously. That's
exactly. It's called Lapdog.
Oh my god! Wow, that is beautiful.
Yeah, I'm never seeing heaven. Sure. Yes. I'm not seeing them pearly gates, hun.
Oh god.
Anyway, the elephant in the room this week.
Right. Yeah, elephant in the room.
We've already like disgusted every single person that listens.
Yeah,
and now we're doing the elephant in the room.
If there are any listeners left.
I mean, look, okay, no. The elephant in the room this week, is that we're not together. It's also that we missed last week because good old Nick needed a break.
Fair.
And that's fine.
Sometimes we just be needing that rest time. Exactly.
And that arrest time. Because our girl Maddie here has been arrested multiple times. Can you tell us what those charges were? Repeat offender?
Yeah. Sorry? Repeat offender, did you say?
Yeah.
Yeah. Obviously, most of them included public indecency.
I did know, yeah. You were on all of the local newspaper front pages.
Exactly. Buck naked. Yeah.
Speaking of Buck, 911's back.
I haven't watched any of it yet.
Yeah, no, me neither, because it hasn't aired in Australia.
Oh, okay, all right.
And what am I going to do? Watch it online?
No. Yeah, I can't wait. Honestly, Chicago Fire, this is one of the things I wanted to talk about today was Chicago Fire. But today, I think I've reached my breaking point. I'm halfway through an episode and something ridiculous just happened. And I'm like, no, I'll just watch 911 again.
Okay, well, wait. Catch people up on what pushed you to the breaking point so far. On Chicago Fire, how many seasons have you watched?
I'm on the third one. I'm like 10 episodes into the third season.
It's been like a week.
It's been like a week and a half.
You are fucking crazy.
Yeah, look, I have a lot of time when I'm just sitting at a desk, you know?
Yeah.
So what else am I going to do?
This is fair.
Yeah, no. Look, so many things have happened that it's actually difficult to summarize them all. But, you know, like, okay, for example, my favorite character who was a lesbian died. And I add in the lesbian thing because she died.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Wasn't it Chloe from Lucifer?
It was. Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
It's really true. And it actually happened super abruptly too. It's like, and yeah, I know, it was super weird. And then what else happened? There was a plot line where one of the male characters was accused of sexual harassment. But we saw like the actual scene where he was with the lady where she accused, like where it all kind of apparently went down, and he definitely did not harass her. He was the one who was like, oh no, we shouldn't do this. I'll take you to the door, whatever. And then like 2 days later, she's filed this harassment claim against him. And this is like a 5 or 6 episode arc because it like keeps getting escalated. And anyway, and that was annoying to do this whole like, oh my God, women just claim false sexual harassment all the time and it ruins men's lives. Yeah. That was not good.
They're telling the wrong story there.
Yeah. And I think and then there was that rape plot line the season after with that guy, the same guy who was accused of sexual harassment. It was his sister was raped by this guy who kidnapped her because he was trying to get back at the main guy. So that was also a fucking schmozzle.
Oh my God.
I know.
That's very much that trope where it's the female characters suffer to push forward the male plot lines.
Pretty much.
I can't remember exactly what it's called, but it has a name. Sorry. Yeah, no,
that's also low-key exactly what happened with Shay, the lesbian character who died. That's what happened there too, because she was best friends. Actually with the same guy. Stop. It was with the same guy, Kelly.
Is that which character? Which actor is that?
I don't know what his
is.
Name
It Lady Gaga's ex-fiance?
I don't know.
Taylor Kinney or something?
Actually, I think it is, yeah. I think that's his name.
That might be very off. It's Taylor Swift. Taylor Lautner.
Obvious.
Too many Taylors.
No, I think it might be Kinney. Anyway, and she died at the beginning of this season 3, episode 1, and we are now on episode 10, I think. Yeah, super weird. And he's been processing his grief, and it's all about him like growing as a character because he's real. I know. I was like, oh, get fucking wrecked. This is ridiculous. What was the thing that happened today?
In the show?
I don't even remember. Yeah, in the show that made me go, this is too... Oh, I remember what it was. So the main hot guy, the guy from House.
Yes.
Jesse Spencer. He is engaged to another lady who used to be a paramedic and is now training to be a firefighter. And she's on the same like truck as him, and he's the lieutenant, so he's the one who's kind of in charge. And there was like some really weird stuff. happening because they were like, oh, we're engaged and it's probably weird if she comes on truck, but then obviously they want to keep her on the show, so they made it happen.
Yeah.
But obviously there's been like some weird power dynamics all around that, and then they've just had a fight in the last episode, which is ongoing to this episode. And the thing that happened that made me go, this fucking sucks, is that he's gotten really drunk, blackout, and then has now woken up in the house of some random lady, and the implication is that he's cheated on his fiance. I don't think that's what's happened, but even the fact that they're just like pretending it did, it's too much. I'm out.
I have some. Okay, there's a similar plot line on Station 19, obviously, because a huge part of drama television is power dynamic,
romance.
Like boss and subordinate relationships.
Yeah.
So yeah, something similar happens on Station 19, but they actually like explore that and the consequences of that over like an entire season.
Interesting. Well, no, I think kind of what they've more explored, because they got together when she was still a paramedic, and so they weren't even like, they were in the same house, but they weren't working together in any way. She was in charge of her own thing, and he obviously.
Well, how is she allowed to join that
thing.
firehouse?
Well, she apparently it's only not allowed if you're actually married. But they were all like, "Oh no, she's."
That should be the only reason it is allowed.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I guess. I feel like because they're generally like, "Oh, people break up all the time. Who cares?" I don't know. Anyway, and then she was trying to find a candidate spot in a few different houses, but then everything was closed, and they were like, "Oh, we don't have a candidate." So because, by the way, the last candidate who was a female committed suicide. That was.
Oh yeah, I remember
because of her dad.
That
was a lot. Anyway, yeah, and so they needed a new candidate, so they put her on as and anyway, I genuinely talk about this for hours, but it's actually so boring.
I don't think in the 17 seasons of Grey's Anatomy I've watched, I don't think there's been any lead character that has attempted suicide or commit suicide. I feel like
I watched 7 seasons, and I don't think I remember that.
Which I find interesting, because it's not like Grey's Anatomy is generally like wary of what storylines they tell and what's going to be harmful or not. But
yeah, interesting.
I feel like they are maybe more cautious or more socially conscious, I guess, of what's an okay story to tell and what's something that's going to harm more people than it helps. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it definitely does. I think, I don't know, my main issue with these is not even so much the plots that happen, even though they're ridiculous, and when you put them all together, it's like, what the fuck? But it's more like the way that they're handled and the way that they're written. It's like, okay, there was an acceptable way to talk about this topic, and then there was an unacceptable way to talk about this topic, and you consistently are choosing the unacceptable way to talk about it.
Yeah.
You know?
I do know.
Ugh.
That's just this week, Paramount Plus has added every season of FBI and its 2 spin-offs, and they're gonna be adding them weekly, like as the US airs them. Like it's yeah. And I was like, maybe I should watch FBI. It sounds kind of fun, like kind of somewhere between Chicago Fire and 911 in the quality and
Love that.
quantity wise kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I googled it and I was so hyped to watch it, and it's all executive produced by Dick Wolf.
Don't do it.
But it is on a different network.
Interesting.
So I'm like, maybe the network asked for something a little bit different.
Yeah.
Probably not.
Well, see, I genuinely don't understand. Like, so Chicago Fire has 9 seasons. 9th season has just finished airing, and whoever produces that, I don't even know who it is. They've already ordered 3 more seasons of the show.
Yeah, I think it's like NBC.
Crazy. And then all of the other shows are still going as well. I think there's like 4 spin-offs. And I'm genuinely
wait. There's
SVU.
6 or 7 seasons of Chicago PD. And then there's like 6 seasons of Chicago Med.
Yep.
And then I think they're doing Chicago Law.
Yeah, Chicago Law is a thing and it's ongoing still. There was a Chicago Justice and that only went 1 season. That's the only one that's been cancelled. But Chicago Law is still going. Yeah.
What's the difference between Chicago Justice and Chicago Law?
I think the Law is like their actual like lawyers out in the open, whereas the Justice one, they were in the Justice Department working for the Attorney General.
Who wants to see that?
No one. That's why it was cancelled.
The only show that it's acceptable for people to do that is in The Good Wife.
Fair.
And that's because it's like actual scathing social commentary.
True.
And they actually use it as a way to, quote unquote, expose them.
Loved that. That's a great show.
You haven't watched The Good Wife?
Oh, I was talking about the other one then.
The Good Fight, the spin-off.
Yeah, that was good.
Well, not the spin-off, the sequel, I guess. I haven't watched the latest season of The Good Fight. I've got to. It's one of my favorite shows.
I might
The
actually.
Good Wife
I
is
think I
so
watched
fucking
2
good.
seasons. Oh,
That's
really?
what you should have watched instead of. The Good Wife is 7 seasons of 22 episodes, and it's really.
But I wasn't.
It's really fast-paced, and it's really good writing.
Well, it wasn't like fast-paced.
There's an occasional
procedural.
fire.
Well, see, that's what I was after. I wanted like the drama. I wanted the disaster-esque type situation. The daring rescues. I wasn't so much after just like the procedural aspect of it.
Anyway, I think
which
you
is
should stop
why
Chicago
I've
Fire.
gotten so far. Well, it's why I've gotten so far into it is because every time the procedural bullshit comes up, I'm like, ew, I'm not watching this. And then I do my work, and then I turn back to the screen when there's a fire. It's perfect. And I have not missed anything, usually. Not missed anything, and still keep up with what's going on. Anyway.
That is a lot to unpack, I feel like.
It's really true. We can move on from it now.
Oh, interesting. I mean...
Well, I do have...
I feel like, sorry.
No,
I was just going to say, I feel like they're probably going to be doing, I reckon within the next year, they'll announce another 911 spin-off and another Grey's Anatomy spin-off. Because I think Grey's Anatomy is about to end. I think they're gearing up to cancel. Well, not to cancel, but to end. Because season 18 premiered 2 days ago.
Holy fuck.
I mean, Law & Order SVU is on like season 23 or something.
Oh my God.
The one that's
crazy.
it's set in the Chicago universe that they do crossovers with.
Yeah, they've done a couple of crossovers already. I didn't watch them. I was like,
that's on like season 23 or something.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But no, yeah, Grey's Anatomy season 18's just started, and Ellen Pompeo has been liking a bunch of tweets and stuff about parallels to season 1, like to the pilot episode, basically. The premiere of season 18 to the pilot episode. So it seems like this is most likely the final season, which makes me sad. I kind of wish that they'd just continue it without Meredith. I feel like
Maybe
it's one of the few shows that would be able to do it. Does that make sense?
It does make sense. Maybe that's what they're going to do.
It's not what they're going to do.
I mean, they've been doing it for 16 years. Like, they can move on.
Grey's Anatomy. No, I'm talking, I reckon they'll cancel it. Like, they'll end it.
Years.
Not cancel, end it. And start, like, set up another spin-off to go off that. So that it's Station 19 plus this new show.
I feel like they should probably just, like, end it.
But it's still good.
Finish it.
Like, the writing and stuff in the universe is good.
Finish in your prime. You don't want people to be like, ew, this show's so bad, and then it gets cancelled, and that's just embarrassing for everyone involved.
Well, yeah, that's why I'm saying,
100.
like, do a soft reboot with mostly new characters without Meredith, so that we don't have to deal with Ellen Pompeo, like, not wanting to be on the show anymore. She's not wanted to be on the show since, like, 2011.
That's really fair. Why didn't she leave?
Money.
Mood. I'd stay on too. She does the 10 extra years being on the show, and now she never has to work again. Seems like a pretty good deal to me.
She makes like a stupid amount of money.
Yeah, and she
rightfully
gets 6
so
months
and
of the year
everything.
off. Perfect.
And she like executive produces any spin-off and stuff, like it's in her contract.
Wow.
But
ideal.
like,
wow, I want that life.
right.
And she's practically a doctor, so
Practically. I mean, so are we though.
accurate. And firefighters and lawyers.
And firefighters and lawyers. Exactly. Yeah. And by that logic, we're also like
astronauts.
I was trying to think of another show that we both watched that.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen a show about space.
We're also priests and paranormal investigators and
wow.
skeptics. That's just
I'm so
evil.
excited for evil.
I want to talk about evil.
Yeah.
Evil's. Robert and Michelle King are probably the goats of television.
Did you say goats or ghosts?
Yeah, like greatest of all time. Goat. Although ghosts would have made more sense in this context.
Say a word like that.
That's a thing.
Just expect that everyone knows what you mean.
That's a thing. Goat is a thing. Greatest of all time.
Well, it makes sense now you've explained it, but I don't think you can just say, "Oh my god, they're a goat." It's like, what? Is this a
I
Satan
said the goat
reference?
of television. It's both. It is also a Satan reference.
Oh fuck. Okay. Yeah. So they're goats.
Well, no, Robert and Michelle King. I don't know how they consistently make incredible television, and how they keep it compelling, and how they like not just keep it compelling, but keep it relevant, like socially.
Yeah, they're pretty impressive.
There's so many good bits.
That's a good show. That's a good show.
But they did The Good Fight.
Yeah.
The Good Wife.
Yes.
All of them. They're just really fucking good.
I agree.
Also, Evil Season 2 being transferred to Paramount Plus. There are F words.
What was that on originally?
CBS.
CBS or something, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Which is network, which means no swearing. But there's swearing now. There's darker themes. There's
darker
maybe
themes
a
than what there
female
already was?
nipple.
Raunchy.
Female presenting nipple. Well, yeah. Well, you know the season 1 who's.
Is it
that
just
would be
a
a spoiler.
side character?
That would be a spoiler. It's in a fantasy sequence. It's not.
Love that.
But I will say the sex scenes themselves, even if there is no nudity, are like
good.
You know, they're pretty raunchy.
Wow. Oh, I'm keen. All right. Wait, how many episodes are there now left of the season to air?
2.
Okay.
How long's the Paramount Plus free trial?
Close.
A week or a month?
I think
or
it's
2
only
weeks?
7 days.
Oh, that's dumb.
Yeah. I'm not going to lie, though. There are other things I'm going to watch on there, so I probably
There's a lot of good stuff on there, unfortunately.
It's really cheap, isn't it?
It's the cheapest with Prime. Prime, I think, is $7 a month.
Yeah.
Or $6.99 or something, and Paramount Plus is $8 or $8.99, which is still like anywhere from $3 to $5 cheaper than what
everything
is that binge, Netflix and Disney Plus.
And Stan. Stan is pretty cheap though. Well, it used to only be a flat rate of 10, but it used to. I think it's up to like 12 or 13 now. But Netflix is like 17 or 18 a month, isn't it?
For multiple screens, yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's really expensive.
It is really expensive, and yeah, it's. I mean, everything's going exactly according to plan. How Netflix wanted it. They're pretty much finishing classic like live TV, which whatever RIP will kind of be missed, I guess. Whatever. But now every fucking network has a streaming network, which just drives up the prices of every other one. And now we're paying like $20 a month for a family plan of Netflix, $15 for a family plan of Stan. You know?
Yeah, it's actually insane. We all share the the streaming networks like around the Mackenzie pays for some, I pay for some, Dad pays for some, which like really relieves the pressure. But even so, I still pay for like 2 or 3 myself, and it's like $30 a month. Like that's a lot.
Yeah, we do the exact same. I pay for probably I think 2 or 3.
Yeah.
And then my parents pay for 3, and then my sister pays for a couple as well. So many.
Yeah. So many. It's ridiculous.
Anyway, speaking of us making fun of streaming services, let's talk about all of the stuff we watched on them.
Yeah, okay. This week, do you mean?
Yeah, since our last time. Well, why? Do you have other topics to talk about before we talk about what's been on recently?
I wanted to talk about... Well, I actually had 2 things to talk about that have happened this week.
Okay. Go.
Firstly...
I'm excited.
This one's just super dramatic and doesn't really matter to anyone outside of Australia. But Gladys, what's her last name? Berejiklian?
Berejiklian.
Her quitting as Premier, fucking the highlight of my year. That's so funny.
It's so funny. And it's also like, she made her own bed.
Yeah, it's really true.
Like, if you have a relationship with one of your subordinates when you work in the government...
Yeah.
People are going to find out, no matter how hard you try to hide it. And people are going to be pissed.
Yep.
Not just that. And if you allegedly put funds that weren't meant to go to one of his things to one of his things.
Yeah.
That's why you don't do it.
It's really true. And she really had absolutely no, like, love from the public at the moment with her way she's handled the COVID outbreak. Like, everyone fucking hates her. Sorry, but that's just
not really.
the truth.
Unfortunately. A lot of...
Really? I'll see.
The right still stand her.
Ew.
Which I don't
Well, I guess
really
she
get.
didn't really go into a lot of, like, a hard lockdown, so they're all like, yeah, business, which I mean, I guess that's, yeah, anyway. Yeah, so they were already hating her, and now, honestly, when the thing came up, I was like, oh my God, why is she just can't take the pressure of people being upset about COVID. And then I read that she was actually being investigated for corruption, and I was like, oh my God. What?
And you know why she had to quit? She didn't have to quit.
Yeah, yes.
She said, I think it was like a couple years ago or 12 months ago or whatever, she said to all of her staff in like a public space, public area, that if anyone was ever investigated by something like the like ICAC, the anti-corruption agency, or anything like that, I would expect them to resign immediately out of respect for their fellow workers.
That's so funny.
That's the only reason she had to resign, is because she said that, you know? Which I find hilarious. Exactly.
Hilarious. Truly hilarious.
And like,
wow. Yeah.
The actual announcement, her speech was like, she didn't really take much responsibility for like, she didn't say like, yeah, what I did was wrong. I completely deny the ICAC stuff, but what I did was wrong, blah, blah, blah. She was like, the only reason I'm having to resign right now is because the Labour Party keeps attacking me over this relationship. I should do impressions.
That was so good. Wasn't there a whole bit where she was like, and I just think it's really insensitive of ICAC to be investigating this right now, considering everything that's going on.
And it's like, bitch, what the fuck have you been doing?
Funny.
You've literally been not holding press conferences for COVID every day. You just stopped them randomly out of the blue at the peak of the case numbers. Like, what?
Did. She was like, oh, this doesn't vibe with my aesthetic anymore.
Yeah. Literally what?
Oh,
whatever.
God, so funny. So funny.
Wild.
And good riddance. I actually did read this week that apparently there hasn't been a Liberal Premier stay for their whole term since 2003 in New South Wales, which is crazy.
Wild. Because they keep getting busted
ejected
for corruption stuff.
Yeah. I didn't read that far. I just read that statistic and I was like, lol.
Wild.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, we have more prime ministers than years.
Then we know what to do with.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Wild.
Truly
wild.
The other important thing that happened this week that I was going to bring up was Jamie Spears being suspended from the conservatorship.
I know. It's so exciting
So that
for
was
Britney.
very exciting. That was very exciting, yeah.
That was really, really, really just great to BH.
Yeah, I feel it was like a I don't know I don't know what was going on. Was it this just an ongoing case, or was there something separate that happened? Was she
This is the ongoing case. This was just the decision making. I can't think of the right word. This was the they were announcing the outcome after all these months of the conservatorship one, basically.
Right, I see.
Which is why Britney didn't have to be there and stuff.
Okay, that makes sense.
And basically, they announced that Jamie has to resign immediately. And they put in a temporary one, but they fully expect the conservatorship to be completely gotten rid of in November.
That's so exciting.
It is exciting.
That's great. Wow. Imagine this.
And I'm no, you go.
No.
I was just gonna say, it's like exciting that all of the stuff she's been holding off on until the conservatorship was ended, like her marriage and having more kids and releasing more music and recording and stuff. She can I don't know, start to actually live her life now.
Yeah, which is awesome. It's Nick and I, we were saying the other day that about how we felt like so I brought up the new Netflix documentary. I don't know if did you watch it?
I didn't.
No, me either. We were saying that like it definitely was starting to feel a little bit exploitative, like all of these documentaries and stuff. But also, like, I definitely stand by that. But also, it's kind of nice to think that, like, you know, from a few, because, you know, Britney for the longest time, obviously, because of the conservatorship, had to deny that there was anything wrong, and she was pretty consistently saying, you know, everything's fine, it's all good, you know, I'm fine, blah, blah, blah. But it's kind of really nice to think that, like, you know, from a couple documentaries and, you know, fans, like, being like, no, this doesn't seem right. This has all kind of been able to happen. Yeah.
Truly.
It's, yeah.
Truly. It is kind of wild how it evolved from... What was it? I think that the two girls started a podcast about her Instagram and what the captions meant.
Yeah.
Which is iconic.
Truly.
Yeah. I don't know. Speaking of her Instagram, she posts a lot of nudity.
She does now.
She like straight up had her coochie out the other day.
I didn't see that one. That's so funny.
Really? It was like her entire coochie with like a little emoji over it.
That is so funny. I am looking it up right now.
It was a lot to unpack.
Britney Spears. Oh yes, she really did. My favorite thing about those photos was in the caption, like in the caption, she was like, P.S. no photo edits. The tub curves with some laughing emojis. And it's like, Queen, no it doesn't. We all know you edited those photos. I just think that's so funny how like self-aware. And I say we all know because literally every photo, the tub is curved in a different place depending on where she's standing.
Yeah.
Which is, again, it's just so funny. I'm like, I love that self-awareness.
Yeah, I don't think people give Britney enough credit for like how self-aware she actually is.
Yeah, it's really true.
And I feel like she kind of always has been like that, but I don't know, people just don't give her enough credit.
Yeah, well, yes, it's true.
That's that on that, cyst.
That's that on that. Yeah, so that's the only things I can remember happening. It's been a few weeks since we've really had a pop culture catch up, but I can't think of anything else that's...
Although, wait, one more thing about the Britney thing is I tried to like kind of briefly explain to you what the Netflix documentaries thing was that made it iconic. And it's purely that basically from the trial the other month, like 3 months ago, there was no live recording to be released. There was no recordings to be released, and they weren't allowed to release them, but they got leaked. Yeah. The audio recordings.
I feel like I vaguely remember listening to one where she was talking about how she wanted to sue her family for conservatorship abuse. Was that part of that?
That was written statements, which
call?
were allowed. That was written statements, which were allowed. But no, these audios were leaked, and this documentary person, the director of the documentary, who had been working on this documentary, to be fair, for like 2 full years, before it got released, she got a hold of them, and she was like, "Hey, Netflix, you know how you're like billionaires? Do you care if
and
we?"
they were like, "Yeah."
Yeah, and they were like, "Yeah." And she was like, "Do you mind if we, you know, put these leaked recordings in the documentary, even though you're gonna get fined for it because we're not meant to have them?" And they're like, "Yeah, sure, do it."
Okay.
So they did.
Just
and
right
like,
into
well,
the budget.
Who says billionaires don't give back?
This is their tax.
This is their tax, exactly. So stupid.
God.
Okay, actually, wait. Okay, wait. Speaking of Netflix, they've been on kind of a roll with their content lately.
Have they?
One, the new Jake Gyllenhaal movie, The Guilty, came out on Friday.
Yeah, I watched 40 minutes of it. Was like, I can't watch anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Did you watch it?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Oh, see, I feel like it's because I don't know. It was like 30 or 40 minutes. I think it's because it spent that long to kind of have any real action that I was like,
That's the point.
I don't vibe with that.
Oh my god. But the plot twists and stuff are really good at the end.
I'm not going to lie. I just read the plot on Wikipedia, so I know what happens.
You're stupid.
After I was like, I'm not sure about this. And to be fair, reading it on Wikipedia was almost enough for me to be like, maybe I should watch it. But then I didn't.
You're an idiot. Well, it's actually like a remake of like a Swedish film or something.
From 2018, yeah.
Yeah, and I remember reading the plot for that movie ages ago. And I think they actually did change a couple plot points with the twist specifically.
Love that.
But otherwise, I think it was pretty much just a carbon copy of the original.
As they usually are.
Anyway, that's that on that. I quite enjoyed it.
Yeah. I mean, Jake Gyllenhaal, that's the whole reason I watched it. I was like, I love that boy. He's an amazing actor.
He is, yeah.
And he was doing a spectacular job from what I saw.
The thing is, though, he's not going to get nominated for any awards for it because it wasn't released in cinemas for 3 weeks or whatever the line is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Unless they do re-release it at the end of the year. Yeah, they might re-release it at the end of the year. I don't know. But
wait and see.
Interesting. What else was released? Okay. Wait, there's 2 more I need to talk about, but I can't decide which one to do first. Okay, let's quickly talk about Squid Game.
Okay.
Do you know about Squid Game?
No.
What?
Do people dress up as Squidward? No, I don't know about Squid Game. What?
It's literally the biggest show in the world.
Oh, I've never heard of it.
Oh my god, oh my god, it's called Squid Game. It's South Korean.
Is it on Netflix?
It's on Netflix. It's like 8 episodes or 9 episodes.
Oh, I don't know why it wouldn't have come up on my page. Maybe it did. I don't know.
What do you mean come up on your page? It's been trending on every social media app endlessly for the past 2 weeks.
I've only been on Instagram and
It's literally on the news every day about how massive it is. It's literally, by like the end of this month, it's going to be the most watched thing ever on Netflix.
Really? I just read
it's number 1 in every single country.
Things. Wow. No.
And it's going to overtake Bridgerton and stuff, yeah. Also, how wild is it? Bridgerton was like the 3rd most watched thing of all time on Netflix.
It was the first.
Was it the first?
Yeah, it was the first by the amount of people who had watched at least 2 minutes of it, but I think it was like the 2nd or 3rd in terms of like actual cumulative hours watched.
Yeah, I was looking at the cumulative hours.
Game. Yeah, no. Oh no, definitely had not seen anything. Hundreds of cash-strapped players accept a strange invitation to compete in children's games. Inside, a tempting prize awaits with deadly high stakes. That sounds interesting.
It's good. I watched the first 2 so far.
Wow. Top 10.
The first episode takes a little too long to get to the point, but once it does, it picks up like a lot.
Keen.
And it's really good, and it's cool and fun, and yeah, it's like the Hunger Games-esque.
Wow, love that.
Which I guess in turn means battle royale-esque. Which is Japanese movie.
I don't know.
Anyway, Squid Game. Yeah, it's really good, and biggest show of all time ever, I guess.
But not to me.
And you hadn't heard of it.
Does sometimes you like talk to me and you're like, I think she actually lives under a rock.
I actually do think you're Patrick Star.
Sometimes I surprise myself. I genuinely would never have known what you were talking about.
That is so crazy.
If we hadn't discussed it right now. Like, I would just...
It's literally being talked about every day on the news for how big it is. It's the entire cast is like on Jimmy Fallon and shit. Like...
Who watches Jimmy Fallon?
I don't know, people. Jimmy Fallon?
I mean, I sometimes do. Yeah, no, I just go down my...
It's all over Netflix. It's all over Tumblr. It's all over Instagram. It's all over Twitter. It's literally number one on the Netflix charts in every single country.
I don't look at those.
You are a loose cannon.
Well, usually they're just like shit. Kissing Booth 3 was number one for like 5 days. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, but that's just because you watched it so many times.
Obviously.
Yeah. So, anyway, Squid Game, and you are living under a rock. That is the
Squid Game. Okay, well, good
entire
to
story
know.
of this episode.
No Squidward.
No Squidward.
That's unfortunate. I was really hoping that's what it was going to be when you said it.
Sorry. Okay, well, pitch it. The Squid Game American remake with featuring Squidward, the octopus.
Okay, I will.
Okay.
Okay, what was the other show you were going to talk about?
The other one was
probably have not heard.
Midnight Mass.
Yeah, no, nothing.
Okay, well, it's by Mike Flanagan, who's the creator, writer, director of The Haunting of Hill House, The Haunting of Bly Manor, Oculus, Hush. Really great movies and TV shows. But, okay, Midnight Mass, when I tell you you have to watch it, you have to watch it.
Well, what's it about?
It's like 7 episodes. It's like...
You know that means nothing to me.
It's also like every episode's at least 60 minutes. It's wild. But it's a miniseries. So once you're done with it, you're done with it forever.
Right. But what's it about?
I don't want to spoil it.
Fine, I'll just look
So
at
basically...
myself.
No, don't. Do not spoil it. This is the one thing I don't want you to spoil, because episode 3...
No, I'm just on Netflix.
Episode 3 is when the plot actually unveils itself.
Right.
And it's everything. It's everything I didn't know I wanted. Creepy. It's everything I did want it. Okay, this is my thing. Okay, so...
The arrival of a charismatic young priest brings glorious miracles, ominous mysteries, and renewed religious fervor to a dying town desperate to believe. That doesn't sound very interesting.
It's not that like that. It's... Ugh.
Well, it does. Netflix is saying it's a 98% match with my tastes, and
it's really fucking good. And I'll tell you what, it's not horror. I wouldn't call it horror because it doesn't. It has the horror themes, but it's not like actually scary.
Right? Is that like I think a ghost thing?
In total, there's like a few jump scares. I've only watched up to the end of episode 3, and the end of that episode 3 truly blew my mind in the most amazing way, and it went to a place I didn't think it was going to go, and then it went there. No, it's
you say that, but then you haven't watched episode 4. I don't understand you. How can you get to the end of an episode and be like, oh my god, wow, that was amazing, and then be like, okay, I'm going to go to bed now? What? This is how I watch 3 seasons in a week and a half.
I did nearly stay up and watch episode 4, but I had to catch up on Drag Race UK 3, so priorities.
Yeah, unrelatable.
I knew I was going to get spoiled for Drag Race, but Midnight Mass, I could avoid spoilers. But it's so fucking good. It's so well written, and it's so atmospherically amazing, and the acting's incredible, and it truly goes where you don't think it's going to go. It's amazing. It's everything.
Okay.
She is the moment. Okay?
Is it?
You follow? You're gonna do it? You gotta do it.
Maybe.
At least get to
No
the end
promises.
of episode 3. It's
Okay, fine. I can.
chef's kiss.
Okay, whatever you say, buddy.
I can't tell you why you're gonna love it, because it would be a spoiler.
Fine. Okay. All right. Okay. You're okay. All right. Fine.
And I
I'll
say this
watch
to
the
everyone.
First episode when I have the podcaster in this evening.
Okay.
I'll
Well,
put it on
so
in an hour.
I'll tell you now the jump scares.
No.
No, it's just okay. There's the main character that you're with from the beginning. Every time he lays down in bed, there's quote unquote jump scare. It's like basically just a thing from his past flashes on screen. It's abrupt. It's not that scary. And that's pretty much it, really, for jump scares. But the genius of this show is that the trailers and stuff give away nothing. Like, they're really intriguing, but they give away nothing of the actual plot. Okay. So even though I watched all the trailers and shit, I was still shooketh. Capital S. Capital F. Okay? Watch Midnight Mass.
Okay.
Do it, bitch.
Okay.
Oh, that's the other elephant in the room, is that I had all of this stuff to post on the Instagram and stuff during the week, and then I completely forgot.
Well, that's really fair. I also was going to actually post something to the Instagram this week, and then I went to log in, and it was a whole schmozzle, and then I didn't get to log in, and I didn't post anything.
What weren't you going to post?
It was just going to be to the stories. I was a little... it was actually a text conversation between you and I. I don't remember exactly what it was, but I remember being...
You're allowed to post on it. Just post on it. Just do it.
No, I genuinely couldn't log in.
Why? I gave you the stuff. It worked for me.
Yeah, I know. I know. But it when I'd put it in properly, and then it was like, you have to wait for authorization from a device that's already logged in. I was like, well, I'm not going to text Nick and see what his things came up with. So, yeah.
Just log in on Safari, not on the app. That's what I would do if I were you, babe.
Okay.
Anyway.
Well, maybe actually I'll just do it this afternoon now that we're talking.
Let's keep going. Have you watched anything else?
Yeah, a movie called The Core.
Oh, okay, go talk about it.
The greatest movie of all time.
I hate you. What's it on?
Netflix.
Okay, I thought you were going to say Prime Video.
No, it's from Netflix. It's a 2003 movie.
Mm-hmm.
And
Is it a B movie?
Well, it's got Hilary Swank in it.
Oh my god.
I know. So I think it was actually a full-on blockbuster of its time. It's a disaster movie, obviously. And it is the Earth's core stops spinning. And it starts to mess with the electromagnetic field around the Earth.
Right.
Meaning that birds can't navigate, and I don't know, there's other weird things until eventually there's so much static electricity on the Earth, and there's solar winds. Anyway, and so this team of scientists have to drill down to the center of the Earth to get the core spinning again.
How?
I don't really know. They built a ship and they built this laser that would go through the Earth. Yeah.
How did they get it spinning again?
They set off 5 nuclear bombs.
What?
Yeah, that's the inertia of the shock waves. Got the core spinning again.
But don't the shock waves go equally in every direction?
Yeah, well, they ended up having to do it at different spots around the core so that it would start a swirling motion. Yeah.
Okay, well, I did that in the pool when I was a kid. I would just do this with my finger and swirl it around, and it would create a vortex. So, problem solved.
Yeah, that's basically what they did. Oh my god, Nick, you've never seen a movie like it. The special effects,
I believe you,
were genuinely worse than Once Upon a Time.
How?
I know, they were so bad. And this is 2003, so it's
It's still
they're
in its
not
baby
obviously
stages.
generally great, but we're still talking like Jurassic Park's already happened, and that had great special effects.
Lord of the Rings.
Exactly. So, yeah, it was a lot. Like, there's not really much more to the plot than what I've already said. But it was,
does like Hilary Swank's character have like family home issues?
No, she's an astronaut. And
what?
And she's an astronaut. And at the beginning of the movie, they're like trying to land their space shuttle back on Earth, but their navigational like equipment goes all haywire because of the gravitational anomalies associated with the the core stuff. I know I'm using a lot of big words here. Anyway,
yeah, like
and then they like accidentally crash, right? Exactly. And then they accidentally crash into downtown LA, which is fucking hilarious. And then she becomes the pilot of the Earth submarine.
Right.
Yeah.
I preferred Godzilla versus Kong's take on it.
I mean, same, honestly. I haven't even seen that movie.
Oh, God, you still not seen that?
So fucking funny. No, I haven't. Yeah.
Wig. They do the whole Hollow Earth thing.
Yeah. Well, no, I've seen the first two, so I know about that. But
oh, okay. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Fun.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess I have to watch the core.
You will actually hate every second of it. Yeah. Like, genuinely, it was terrible. But also, it was a masterpiece. Like, I think I might say it was a better movie than Twilight, which is, like, blasphemous, but maybe true. I know.
I know. We're done with this podcast now. Bye. I won't stand for this Renesmee slander. Okay? Oh, wait, no, the best part is the reason why, so like for 3/4 of the movie, it's a whole big mystery about why the Earth's core stops spinning, because they're like, that doesn't just happen. And it turns out it's literally because this is set in 2003 as well, I'm pretty sure. And they don't make any hint that it's set before then, but they're literally still talking about the Cold War, and they're like, oh, we were really worried. Yeah, I know. We were really worried that the Soviets were going to created this machine that can make earthquakes. And so America built one themselves, and then it accidentally was like too powerful or something and it reached down into the core, and that's what stopped it from spinning. So fucking funny. It's so Stanley Tucci was in it as well, just by the by. Oh my God, King.
It's wild.
I have so many questions about it though.
Yeah, please feel free. Hit them. It's my favorite movie of all time now.
No, because then when I think about them, I don't actually have questions. It's like,
honestly,
one big question, which is why does this movie exist?
The ultimate question. I'm not going to lie.
Question.
It's genuinely like they were like, okay, disaster movies are in right now, but we've already done all concepts that have ever existed. So what are we going to do? And then they were like, the Earth's core stops spinning. And that was
in 2003.
Yeah. Anyway, so it was a lot. It was a lot.
I'm so glad you're spending your time wisely by watching Chicago Fire and The Core.
Thank you. Me too.
Oh, good. I'm glad we're on the same page. Okay.
I mean, to be fair, when I started the movie, I actually had high hopes for it. Within 2 minutes, I was like, oh, okay. I know what's happening here. Yeah.
I follow. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's quickly. Have you watched anything else or?
No.
Okay. I started Foundation, the new Apple TV sci-fi series.
Right. Is that the one where the dude is like something end of the world, space war? I know how the world's going to end.
Yeah. Basically, Foundation's about like Harry Seldon, this guy, the scientist mathematician dude who can predict the future by using numbers and shit.
Yeah, okay, I've seen ads for it.
Yeah, and he's like, the world's going to end in 1,000 years. and we can't do anything to stop it. So the best thing we can do is create a foundation on the outskirts of the universe for a new civilization. And basically, I guess a lot of the plot is about them like trying to find and decide on the best pieces of each planet and each culture to preserve in this foundation.
I mean, I personally feel like if it's in 1,000 years, they should have just been like, okay, everyone has to stop procreating in 800 years, and then it would have been fine.
No, but I think it's like an unavoidable, it's not overpopulation or anything, because the universe dies.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
The universe
That's why
dies.
only the outskirts of the universe can survive.
Interesting.
No.
Weird.
It's actually quite slow. But but Lee Pace is in it, and Lee Pace in his like emperor outfit could literally snap my neck.
Wow.
And I'd thank him. There's some really good concepts in it. It's based on a novel by Isaac Asimov. And there's some good concepts in it. But for example, like the emperor character is a clone of this emperor from like 100 years ago or 1,000 years ago, whatever, that
right.
he thought he was so good that I'll just keep cloning myself to keep the peace and to keep things going.
That's iconic.
So they create clones of him as a kid, as a middle-aged, late 30s, early 40s man, and as an old guy. And between the three of them, they're meant to have the full breadth of like perspective and knowledge and shit to make rulings. But really, they're just tyrannical dictators.
That does generally happen.
Yeah. So that's like the entire plot. And honestly, nothing happens in the first 2 episodes, but in total, they go for like 2.5 hours.
Ugh, yuck.
Yeah. Anyway, The Lost
That's way
Symbol
too
on
long.
Paramount Plus.
Oh, yeah. Keen for that.
It's really, really good.
How many episodes are out of that?
3? Probably going to be 8 or 10. I'm not sure how many. But it's really good. And I've been wanting more like treasure hunter, National Treasury, Dan Brownie content.
Fair.
And they said, here, have this. And I said, thank you.
This is made for you, Nicholas.
It was made for me. I haven't even read the Dan Brown books and stuff, though, TBH. But I think you said this is the 3rd one, didn't you?
The 3rd book, yeah.
In the Da Vinci Code series.
Yes.
But Da Vinci Code's not the first one, right? Didn't they do the movies in the wrong order?
Yeah, they did. Angels and Demons was the first book, I think, that came out. I think it was 2000.
And then the Da Vinci Code?
The Da Vinci Code came out like 2003, and then this book came out like I think it was 2008, 2009, and then Inferno came out 2013.
And then there's another one.
No, that's just those 4.
No, it's called like Origin.
No, I don't think that might be part of the series, but I don't think so. I think that's just a standalone book by Dan Brown that also is the same genre.
Wig. Anyway, this specific one, I don't get. They must have wanted to set all 3 films in the series in Europe because from what I gathered from the description of the book, it's set in Washington, D.C.
Interesting.
As the show is. But the show's like fast-paced and it's good, and I'm assuming they take liberties and stuff, and it's fun. It's fun.
Love that. I really quite like the first 2 books. The first 2 movies, sorry. Inferno sucked, but the first 2 movies were really good, and the books are really good too, so keen for that.
See, I haven't even really seen the movies properly.
They're really good.
That's what I say. Everyone always says how great the movies, like the first 2 movies are, but then you go online and they have like 20% on Rotten Tomatoes. Like critics hated them.
Oh, really? No,
Yeah.
they were fun. They were like National Treasure, but a bit more serious. But like, they weren't so serious that you were like, oh, it's taking itself seriously. And this, like, it was like, it committed.
Yeah.
Like, it was serious, but it committed to that and it pulled it off. So,
Yeah.
yeah, no, they were good.
I should give them a rewatch then.
You should. I agree.
Cute, fun, fresh. Did you see they're making a TV show, a Pitch Perfect show? starring
didn't see
Bumper,
that.
Adam Devine's character.
Oh,
And I'm like, one, out of all the characters, why him? And two,
no.
why?
Oh, you know what else I watched?
What?
Free Guy, and the reason I remembered
Oh, that's right. We watched that, yeah.
The guy who was in it, the side character guy, he was in Pitch Perfect.
Which side
The
character?
Indian man.
Oh, yeah. Bumper's friend, yeah.
Yeah.
I follow.
Yep. That's how
Do you
that
kind of think
connection
that
was made.
they, like, woefully miscast Taika Waititi?
I wouldn't say miscast, but I was a bit like, why is he here as an actor?
God.
You know? He's not a bad actor, but I mostly picture him as someone who like vaguely just acts a comedic role in movies that he's actually a part of making.
Yeah.
You know, so it was a
Did
bit
you watch
weird when
Jojo
he
Rabbit?
did not have been involved at all. No, I haven't.
See, in one of
It
those
seemed
kind
too
of
sad.
roles, I know what you mean. It's pretty sad. It makes sense, but I don't know. Yeah, in Free Guy, I feel like they couldn't decide if he was meant to be comedic relief or the villain, and like they could have done both, like a lot of Disney movies and shit do. But I don't know. I just didn't think the delivery was there.
That's fair. It was a bit. It wavered a couple of times, I feel like, but I think that's just because he's not a very strong actor. Because that's
maybe.
not what he's trained to do. I mean, maybe he is, but I don't actually know much about him.
Fair. Yeah, no, Free Guy.
I enjoyed that movie.
Better than I expected it to be.
Yeah, I agree. It was kind of like Jumanji. You didn't watch Jumanji, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. I like them both.
You know, it's like one of those things where you go in and you're like, oh, I'm not expecting much from this movie. It seems stupid. And then you come out of it and you're like, they fucking went off.
Yeah, better than it had any right to be.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I agree. And I'll watch anything that Jodie Comer's in, so.
Fair. Very fair.
Also,
no, but it was good.
Minor spoiler alert, but I stand any movie that tricks straight cis men into seeing it thinking it's an action movie and then it just turns out to be a rom-com.
It was such a rom-com.
That's what we call iconic.
Accurate.
The international implications that has.
Yeah, Mackenzie, he didn't really watch most of it because he went to bed earlier than I did on the night where I watched the first half, and then he just kind of came in for the last 10 minutes. And then at the end, and then we were watching it together, and the bit where they're like, the guy and the girl are like crossing the road to like kiss, Mackenzie was like, are they gonna get hit by a car? And
Right?
I don't think so. And he was like, but like, are they? And I was like, well, I don't think it's that kind of movie, but I mean, maybe it's been unpredictable up until now. And he was like, I think that's what we're about to watch. It wasn't, obviously. And then we were like, when it happened, when the the parallel happened with Ryan Reynolds and his friend, we were like, okay, now is it going to happen?
Yeah, and then they still didn't.
Yeah, still didn't. We also were like, wait, is there going to be a gay kiss here? Because that would be perfect. And then there wasn't.
True.
That's the parallel we were really hoping for.
I agree. I'm with you on that one. Yeah, better than it had any right to be.
Yep.
That's that on that,
Agreed.
I guess.
That is that on that. We
It'll
probably should start
spawn,
wrapping up.
20 spin-offs and sequels and shit, but whatever.
Oh, yeah, it probably will now. Ugh. Can't just let us enjoy a once off.
Yeah. Right. Agreed. Okay. Wait. Okay.
It's 3:22.
The only other piece of real news that I'm going to say is that Scarlett Johansson and Disney came to an agreement. Apparently she got paid she got paid off like $40 million.
Wild.
And
you mean she got to settle, she got paid $40 million on top of the money she got as her cut?
Yeah.
Interesting. Wow.
Yes, and for breaching the contract, and they've signed her on to a movie based on the Disney ride Tower of Terror.
Wow.
So that's that.
Did you see Jungle Cruise?
Yeah, I told you about it.
Oh,
on
that's
this
right.
very pod.
Oh, wild. I was just going to say that movie was not as good as I expected it to be. Like, it was fine, but I definitely expected it to be as good as Jumanji just because The Rock was in it, and then it wasn't.
See, that was your problem. I went in with low expectations.
Yeah, that was.
So I came out and I was like, that was fun. That was the Pirates of the Caribbean adventure movie. But lighter. More upbeat.
Pretty upbeat. It was pretty upbeat. Yeah, it was. I mean, it was fine. Emily Blunt's really hot, so like that really got me through. But
tea. That's the tea.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Interesting. So that connection only came because of the Tower of Terror ride thing, which is really weird. I don't. They're scraping the bottom of the barrel and they're like, "We'll just base this off of a ride."
Well, they're also redoing the Haunted Mansion movie, which is based on the ride. I don't know what else is based on rides.
I don't understand.
Me neither.
Like, they don't... it's Disney, so I feel like automatically, no matter what the movie is about, people will go and see a Disney action movie. They don't need to base it off of a ride. Just get some fucking 18-year-old university student from Tumblr, because they always have great ideas.
Yeah.
just do that. Like, you don't need to base things off of rides. I don't understand. Disney,
yeah, I think it's like
what
purely. I think it's purely so that they can add movie merch to the Disney parks. Really,
that's disgusting.
Outside each of these rides, and that's pretty much it, probably. But whatever. Okay, well let's let's wrap it up, shall we?
Yeah, I actually have a what the fuck this week.
Oh my lordy.
I know. There's a whole story attached and everything.
Okay. Well, my what the fuck of the week this week, Maddie, is that there was some news this week that broke that really shook me to my core.
Did it?
Yeah, it went deep. It ruined my soul. It tore everything out of me every will to live that I had. And that is that the Willy Wonka
really
prequel movie called Wonka, starring Timothy Chalamet as Willy Wonka, actually exists. Like, they're actually making it. Like, I thought it was a joke. I thought it was like a fake headline on Twitter that like went viral for being a meme. But no, it turns out it's real. And they've cast Olivia Colman, Rowan Atkinson, and Sally Hawkins. All these people are like Oscar winners or Oscar nominated. And I'm like, why? How is this a real movie starring Timothy Chalamet as Willy Wonka in a prequel movie?
I can see Timothy Chalamet as Willy Wonka. I'm not going to lie. Like, I can visualize that.
But how are they getting this cast, and why does it exist?
Why? That's good. These are good questions. Who's making it? I don't know who did the original Willy Wonka. Is it Disney? Because if it's Disney, how are they getting their actors is by paying for them. Extortion.
I have no idea.
Fair.
I don't know which studio's making it. I think Universal. But Netflix did just buy all of the rights to the Roald Dahl library.
Interesting.
So that they're doing a prequel series about the Oompa Loompas or something or other.
Oh my God.
I just need someone to buy the rights to the Chronicles of Narnia and get a long anthology series that leads up to an Avengers-like climax of the last two books or book or whatever. That's all I need, okay? Stop buying every other property. Stop buying the Lord of the Rings TV show rights to set a TV show 1,000 years before the movies. Like, what?
Oh, yuck.
That's Prime. They just committed to the most expensive series ever made.
Really?
Yeah.
That was not a good investment.
Anyway, what's your what the fuck of the week?
Okay, well, mine's a bit more grounded in reality.
Right. Unlike the Willy Wonka prequel movie.
Exactly. And it's a story about something that happened to me this morning. So I'm not going to actually say what the fuck is until the end, because then you'll understand. I'll start the story, which is yesterday, Mackenzie, Mum and Dad went away, but they left Nigel with me. I promise the what the fuck is not Nigel. He's just a key part of the story. So he obviously, Nigel likes me, but he doesn't love me enough to be comfortable being left alone with me.
Oh my God.
So there was multiple mental breakdowns of, when's Dad coming home? I don't like you, Madison. To which I just made him shut up and put him on bed. And then he was like, oh, okay. I kind of like on the bed though. So we slept through the night. And usually Nigel's morning routine is he will sleep in Mackenzie's room. And then at like sometime between about 6 and 7:30, he'll jump down and he will go downstairs to Mum and Dad, and he'll jump up on the bed down there, say hello to them, and then Mum will wake up and take him outside to the garden, and I don't know, they go see the chickens together, whatever. So this Nigel is a gardener. He fucking loves it. Anyway, so
I feel like it's worth mentioning that you live in an urban area. You guys just run a farm out of it.
It's really true. That's true. We were on a 400 square meter block. It's tiny, but still there's a jungle out back. Anyway, so this morning I'm like, okay, Nigel's on the bed. Usually if he's sleeping on a bed, he will sleep a bit later. So I'm like, okay, I want him to sleep as long as possible. And I pick up my phone and I'm like, oh, it's 7:30. This is when Nigel starts to get up. He gets a bit agitated. He can sleep. He stays on the bed until 7:45. And then I'm like, okay, fine, we'll go down. We went downstairs. He got cried at the door of Mum and Dad's room. And I was like, they're not here. Let him in. He went and saw it, blah, blah, blah. We went and saw the chickens, came back upstairs, went to bed. I stayed in bed for a little while, actually. It was 10:30. And then I go about my business and Nigel had to come to the studio. But I was like, oh, I'm going to go to McDonald's. I want some chips. And at this point, it was about 11:15 when we went to McDonald's. Okay. And we got there and I got my chips. And as I was like at the ordering screen, I saw that they still had breakfast food. And I was like, do you know where this story's going yet? It's really weird, isn't it?
No, I'm not following.
Yeah, that's really fair. They still had breakfast food up. And I was like, oh, that's super weird. It's 11:15. I got my food. I'm driving to the studio and I happened to glance at the clock in my car and it said 10:15. I was like, no, that doesn't make any sense. It's 11:15. And then I realized daylight savings started today in New South Wales.
Was your phone set to Sydney?
My phone automatically set to daylight savings time. Yeah, so all morning I've been like, oh my God, Nigel, you're such a good boy. You've stayed in bed until 6:30. He was awake. I was awake at 6:30. Out of the house. Oh, God. Really? Anyway, my what the fuck is, firstly, daylight savings. Secondly, why the fuck did my phone automatically change? So, yeah, that was a really long story just to get to that, but I felt like I really needed to add to the confusion.
Fair. It is what the
that's
fuck
what I went through. Exactly.
I agree. Yes, what the fuck of the week? What the fuck daylight savings? I full-heartedly agree. And I guess I guess you're lucky you didn't have like any meetings or anything.
Yeah, literally.
Although better than the other way around. You could have been like late to everything instead of early to everything.
It's really true. It's really true. Yeah. So I was like ordering chips from McDonald's at 10:15 in the morning. I'm sure they were all like, what the fuck? And I'm like looking at Find My Friends because Mum and Dad and Mackenzie said they were like, oh, we're going to be back by midday, but it's a 2-hour drive. So I'm looking at my phone. I'm like, it's 11 o'clock. Why haven't they left yet?
Iconic.
They didn't need to. So yeah, anyway. There was just a lot of confusion this morning, and daylight savings is ruining my life, even though we don't even have it.
That's the kicker. We don't have it.
Yeah, exactly.
Look, I still don't understand daylight savings. I get it's for the farmers and shit, but like, why?
Doesn't make any sense.
Anyway.
I vibe with it. So
wonderful.
Yeah, that's my story of today.
It was a good what the fuck of the week, bro.
Thank you.
I think we got through a lot this week. I think we did a big culture catch-up that we needed to do.
We did, I feel like. And we learnt that I'm a Fruit Loop in terms of not knowing anything that's ever going on.
This is true. I'm in shock that you didn't know about Squid Game. But then again, I didn't know about the movie The Core, so who am I to talk? You know?
And that is a culture staple.
Of course. Quite.
Of course. All right.
Cute. Maddie. What are your socials? Yeah.
Lady Alice 101 on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube. Nicholas, what are the pods?
If you want to follow the pod, you can at WTFIH podcast on Instagram. And I guess Twitter. Haven't really updated it in ages. And if you want to watch the video version, that's on YouTube. Just search WTF is Happening, the podcast, or just like click any of the fucking links below. There's so many. There's also going to be links to the stuff we talked about in the app. And if you want to follow me on Twitter, you can at NIC_sushi or TikTok. TikTok is also a thing that exists, which I forget about.
Which you are fairly successful on, in my humble opinion.
I just don't understand the algorithm, because all of a sudden that Sharpay video's got another like 200,000 views.
Stop! Really? Are
like
you almost
a
at a
full
million?
like a full month and a half after it went to 600,000 views. Like,
that's
what?
Crazy. What's your thing, Nick Sushi?
Yeah, it's at like 850,000.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
That was like from like over a month ago. I don't follow it. Whatever. That's wild. Other what the fuck of the week is the TikTok.
Truly.
What they push to people. But whatever.
True.
That's it. How do we wrap up?
Okay. Thank you very much for
listening to What the Fuck is Happening.
What is happening? The podcast.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Bye.